And we back. Welcome back to the second season of the Get Buggers podcast. Today I have my co-host on, Dykes Dixon. Really today what we'll be talking about 5A, all the way from Skeeza up to 5A, being 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A. Just talking about who we think will come out of each one, being Upperstate, and Dykes will be covering Lowerstate. So let's get it started, man. First I want to start off with 5A. In the Upperstate, there's a lot of competition this year. I don't know if you know some of the teams. We have like T.O. Hanna, Lexington with Cam Scott, Dorman, obviously, a big culture school up here, known for getting that 5A state champ every year. But this year I'm going to have to give it to Lexington. I think they got too much firepower. They got Cam Scott, obviously, Jackson Prunty, Caleb Evans, who's a junior right now, who's I think just got an offer from UNC Charlotte. So I think they really got the team to take it all the way this year. And I think I forgot to even mention for Upperstate, this is honestly backtracking, but for 5A, I think Burns is going to be really nice. I forgot about Burns. Forgot to mention them. Do I think they'll beat Lexington? I'm not sure about that, but I just wanted to mention them. I think they'll be a really good team this year. And honestly, I think they can win region over Dorman for the first time since ever. What do you think for Lowerstate, though?
So it's down to me. It's down to about two teams. You got Somerville, and then you got Goose Creek. Somerville, the real question is Yannick Smith going to play this year? I know he's going to ECU for football, but the question is he going to play basketball? They also got Melvin Teal, one of the top guards of the class of 2025. Goose Creek, though, losing two big-time seniors, being Justin Britt and Elijah Dates. You do have sophomore guard Jaquel coming back, and then you got junior guard Shane Potts coming back. Question is, can they lead the show, bring it back to maybe a state championship, not runner-up this year? But my real pick is going to have to be Somerville for 5A.
Okay. That's nice. I know those two teams were going at it last year, and I believe they even played in the playoffs, didn't they?
Yeah, they played Goose Creek came away with that one, though, but they played during the season. It was a really packed game, really packed house.
Yeah, that's last year Lexington lost to Dorman in the Upperstate, but I believe this year being Cam's senior year and a lot of those guys' senior years, I believe they have the team to do it this year. So, but if it came down to it, like I said, Lexington, I believe, will make it to the championship. And you said Somerville. Yannick, I don't know if you know, Yannick and Cam play together on Team United for AAU, so that would be a personal game.
I know. We got to see. The question is Yannick going to really play basketball this year?
I know. That's something. I know he loves football, so will that love of football go over the basketball season, But that's who I believe will be the champions. I don't know who will be the champion. Like you said, it depends if Yannick plays. But definitely looking forward to that. 4A, moving on to 4A, this year, trying to remember, last year Irmo ended up winning, and they beat Lancaster in the championship. And Upperstate Lancaster was very dominant last year. They had a lot of wins. They beat Catawba Ridge, who was really good, who has some really good players. But who would I give it to? It's a very tough. It's between three schools with me. And that's Lancaster, who obviously has their junior Jordan Watford, who's going to be really good for them, all-state player, or he should be an all-state player this year. They did lose Grayson Kirk, who was a senior last year, who was an all-state player for them, but I don't think that will hurt them. They still have Ladarius Cloud, who's a senior. Greer just got in transfers from two different high schools. They still have Amari Anderson, and I think that they'll be really good if they can come together as one this season. And then I'm trying to remember who Catawba Ridge has Lance Barnes, who's really nice, who's a junior this year. And they have Zay Hager, who's a senior, who got All-State last year. So if I was to pick one team, honestly, I might have to go Lancaster. I feel like last year, because they lost in the championship to Irmo, I feel like they want that revenge. I feel like they lost by a decent amount in the championship, but I feel like they want that revenge. And honestly, Jordan Watford's a dog. I'll give it to him. Jordan Watford's a dog. I do think Catawba Ridge has a lot of chemistry, but I'm gonna have to give it to Lancaster for this season.
Okay. No Riverside.
I don't believe so. One of Riverside's players actually transferred to Greer.
Okay, fair enough. For 4A, I think I have to go James Island. They got a new coach coming in this year, but I mean the star power and R.J. Simmons, Montreal Jenkins, they just got something going on the island over there. I think that a couple of Florence schools should give a fight and maybe a little bit of Ridgeview, but I feel like James Island's coming for something different this year.
Yeah. And I want to credit, I know Irmo, they lost their guy, Madden Collins, I believe his name was. He transferred up to Christ School. He was pretty good for them. Obviously, Brandon Crawford graduated, who probably was the reason they won last year. He averaged like 6 blocks a game. I don't know if I don't see them being as good as last year, but so you say James Island, though. I don't know much about them, but I think they'll be pretty good.
Yeah, so James Island does have the 2 transfers coming from Cathedral their sophomore year, and then just like a whole new coaching. And with Coach Travis's coaching coming from Porter, I just think that they're just going to run away with the Region 7 and then hopefully the state championship.
Got you. So if it came down to it, you say James Island versus Lancaster in the final. That's going to be a game right there. Last year, Lowerstate took it, so we'll see if Upperstate can get it this year. And I want to say it right here, right now, Greenville High School, I know y'all are known for getting to that 3rd round. I want to see if y'all can get past that hump this year. Y'all are consistently getting deep in the playoffs. Can y'all get past that hump? I know y'all lost 2 seniors. I'm challenging you guys this year to make it past that, because I know y'all are known for getting far and then just losing late in playoffs. Prove me wrong.
I feel like one of the front runners in 4A though this year will be Wilson. I feel like Wilson's going to come out with a lot of star power. They got Tristan Thompson. They got what's the kid in 2027?
I know, yeah. I was about to say, what's his name? Is his name Josh?
Is it Josh Leonard?
Yeah, Josh Leonard, man. That man's different beast.
One of the top recruits in 2027. So they're going to come out with a lot of star power, but yeah.
I can see that for sure. Moving to 3A, I'm not sure if you knew, but Abaya Franklin or Baba transferred to Wren over the summer. I think he'll definitely improve their team. If he didn't go there, I don't know if I would even mention them, because Johnny Wysong, who graduated last year, definitely was their main leader. And after he graduated, I just couldn't give it to them. But if I was to choose one team coming out of 3A for Upperstate, I'd have to give it to Pattersville. I think Pattersville, with them getting Hayden back from Legacy last year, I think they're up for the challenge. They have seniors that have been playing varsity, like Nick Sweet since freshman year, Caden Krieger. They got a transfer from Berea who made All-Region last year. So I believe Pattersville will take that Upperstate this year.
Okay. Yeah, so for my 3A, I got 2 teams this year. I think Orangeburg Wilkinson's going to be really good this year. They're pretty much good every year, pretty much a powerhouse in the low country. But also I have to go to my ex-school, Philip Simmons. They do have Robert Watson, which I just had an interview with, that we'll be seeing shortly. But with the firepower of them, 5 seniors starting, I mean, they're going to be
Iron Horses, right? Iron Horses?
Iron Horses right there.
Yeah.
They're going to be a really good team. They're just going to have a lot of firepower. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, so, Philip Simmons versus, when I say Pattersville in the state championship, one thing I believe that changes, that I feel like will be the difference maker, everyone has guards. Every team that makes the championship has really good guards. I want to see if someone can stop Hayden Simeon, the big at Pattersville. I feel like if you have a really good big, it always changes who comes out on top. Even Dorman last year, they had a big, forgetting his name, but they had a big last year. It was more of a role player for them, but he was probably the reason they beat Goose Creek in the final. And I feel like if you have a really good big, it's hard to get stopped in the playoffs. Moving to 2A though, man, I know we're 2A. There's a lot of good teams in 2A. You got Landrum, you got Keenan, Gray Collegiate, but if we're going based off of pure potential, I'll have to give it to Gray Collegiate just because they've won, 6 out of the last 7 years. I mean, the dominance from them. They obviously bring in transfers every year. But, I have faith in my team as well. I think we can put in the work to get there. Landrum has a really good player being Franklin Davis and Bennett Edwards. But I'm going to give the edge to Gray Collegiate. They got in a few transfers this year. I think they got this guy named Braylon Thomas, who's really good. They did lose Trey White, who's at Catawba College, I believe it's Catawba College. So I'll give it a Gray Collegiate this year, coming out of 2A for Upperstate.
Okay. So back in the Low Country, you got, I feel like Oceanside's going to run away with it, losing a bunch of seniors, being, I think, either 7 or 8 seniors. But the firepower in Travis Stickney, and then sophomore Jake Roque, I think his name is. I mean, I feel like they're just going to run away with it. They just have a system that can't be beat. I think Woodland's going to be a good matchup, though. They always got a good star power up in Woodland, but the defense of Woodland is just something that's uncomparable. But I think Oceanside just has too much of a firepower, and I feel like they're going to just run away with the Region 7 and the Low Country.
I love Oceanside style of play. Completely different from Gray Collegiate. I want to see if they'll be able to play against an athletic team like that. Gray Collegiate does have competition with Keenan, though. Keenan actually just got a transfer. I forget his name, but they just got a transfer from what's the school called? Eau Claire, which is also down there in the Columbia area, and he's like 6'7", so he'll definitely help him. His name's Cedric, Cedric. So he'll definitely help Keenan this year. But Gray Collegiate versus Oceanside rematch.
I know.
Round two. Moving on to 1A, I have to give it to Christchurch again. I know they lost Jordan Butler, who's at Missouri now, but I still think they have it in them. Their chemistry, just like Oceanside, it's unmatched. What Coach Butler has going there, he's created a culture that's very strong. And with point guard DJ Harvey and the players around him that know their roles really well, I think that they'll run away with it in the Upperstate.
Okay. For 1A, I feel like I have to go Baptist Hill. There's just something different about the environment in Baptist Hill. Just a very small school in Hollywood, South Carolina, about 30 minutes from the beach. But I don't feel like any team is even I don't feel like Charleston Math and Science, after losing Lachey, going to Charleston Southern and Military Magnet, I feel like they're just going to run away with Region 8. But I feel like Hannah Pamlico will be a good team coming out of the Region 6, but I got Baptist Hill going all the way.
Got you. For moving on to Skeeza, I really want to hear from you because I'm not even sure too much on the Upperstate about Skeeza. Shannon Forest lost all their guys coming after last year, but Skeeza-wise, I feel like Lowerstate kind of own it right now, and I want you to mention a few teams down there that you're going to keep your eyes on.
Okay. Well, I'm actually Skeeza 4A. I feel like we will improve a lot this year. I feel like we've improved the last 2 years, but some of the major teams, I'm going to go like Augusta Christian, which Augusta Christian just lost a couple kids, so I don't know who it's going to be. Cardinal Newman has always been a powerhouse. Porter Gal will be really good with Robert Moore, but honestly, I think First Baptist coming off with they got a Cooper Kowetsky, which is their big that came from Stratford a couple years ago. And they also got Tay over there, the shooter. And they're going to be really good this year, but I feel like you got to go to the powerhouse Cardinal Newman for 4. Yeah.
And then 3A, who do you think is going to take it home this year?
I'm going to have to go with Hilton Head Christian. They won it last year. They're just kind of a powerhouse. They got a couple kids. They got a couple seniors this year, and Caden Turner, and they got their big. What is their big's name? I think it's Isaiah Anderson, but I feel like they're just going to run away with 3A. So for 2A, I got Cathedral Academy, and then for 1A, I'm going to have to go Faith Christian.
We got you. And that will close out our preseason predictions. Thank you for listening, and until next time, peace.